Good day, class. The lesson for today is on conservation. We'll be focusing on conservation of game animals.
Sir, I don't want to play no game with no animal, you know.
Shut up, little boy. Okay, so let me introduce you to a friend of mine who has a little story for you and you too.
Hello, boys and girls. My name is Manny, and I am a Maniku. Let me tell you about my story. Well, I from a place they call the bush. It's a place deep, deep inside the forest where nobody does harass you. Well, at least that's how it used to be, eh? One day now, me and my partner Larry, the lab, was going to check out Terry the tattoo. And a hunter like he was now coming up the road and spot we. Man, we started to run. But when I look back, I didn't see Larry at all. A couple of days passed, and I hear them fellas saying the same hunters, like they come back, and they take Larry to make a curry. Well, I'm afraid for myself now. Since I see my neighbors and them, and my family start to disappear one by one. I don't come out my house at all. You think it easy? If I ain't careful, I could be next.
But what you want me do for that?
Shut up, little boy.
Sir, I never knew that game animals were under so much threat. Is there anyone I can talk to about the topic to get some more information?
Well, for those of you who are willing to get some more information, I can point you into the direction of some people I know. Oh, these people are very good and they have a lot more knowledge on this topic.
I am Dr. Luke Roster.
My name is Vishnu Raman. I'm a member of Southeastern Hunters Association.
What are game animals?
Well, game animals, by and large, are those animals that are categorized as being wild in nature, but are hunted actively by the hunting fraternity in a given area.
Game animals are animals like Gucci, lap, tattoo, wild hog. Quite a lot. I want to go through the whole list, but those are the main creatures.
What is overhunting?
Overhunting to me is basically when an organism is either hunted beyond its minimum viable population size, or it could even mean that a particular organism is being hunted to such an extent that they're not given a chance to mature, to reach sexual maturity, and thereby contribute to the next generation.
Overhunting is when you're killing off too much of the animals, man. You know, before they get time to breed.
In your opinion, which animals do you think are being hunted the most?
Probably the most popular is agouti.
Agouti, lap, and tattoo.
The agouti.
What ecological importance do these species have on the environment and its services?
Well, there's several ecological services that you can think of. For example, if we start all the way down, which is an organism that's hunted, but a lot of people don't actually consider when they really think about it, is the crab. Mangrove crab, Eucides caudatus, is actually a very important crab, a very important species in mangrove swamps, because what they actually do is they help aerate the soil, they help actually carry a lot of the detritus that's on the surface of the soil down into the soil, so they help with the structuring of the soil and so on. All the way up to agoutis, they don't remember where they buried seeds and so on, so they perform a critical ecological function where they actually carry seeds to different parts of the forest, burying them, and in so doing, because they forget where they buried their seeds, they allow the forest to regenerate.
Is overhunting a major concern?
No. Always have wild animal, always have wildlife.
Yes, it is, because they'll deplete the wildlife in the forest.
What do you think is the current population of game animals in Trinidad? Is it high, low, or at critical levels?
I would classify it as being low. And the reason I would say that is, there's still quite a bit of game animals out there. But they're, from anecdotal evidence, also from some of the main studies that have been carried out, mainly in the Central Range Reserve, they're they're low in terms of the densities compared to what you find on mainland, in mainland South America. So, for example, the densities of agouti that you find in Trinidad in that particular Central Range Reserve are much lower than you would usually find in the wild in the mainland habitat. And that's kind of the yardstick that we have to compare, that we have right now to compare to. And while they're not critically low, they're still low, and that kind of raises some red flags, and it shows that there may be need for some intervention.
It's not really high, and it's not really low either. It's alright for now. But if the hunting continues, it'll probably get low at some time.
What is your opinion on the newly imposed 2-year ban placed on hunting of game animals?
Senseless.
Yeah, it's a good initiative. It's very good.
My opinion on the 2-year ban is that it you know, obviously the government and the powers that be saw the need to put in place this particular ban to hopefully try to get some sign. I think, to me, the main impetus behind the 2-year ban is to let's just stop hunting for a short period of time, and let's try to figure out exactly what's there. Because what you go on right now is a lot of hearsay. There's not enough scientific evidence, and what we need to do is to build the scientific evidence, find out exactly how many animals we have of particular species. We need to figure out things like what their reproductive biology is, when are they reproducing the most. Those sorts of really key pieces of information that we need to actually put in sustainable use quotas and so on, and enforce those quotas. So I think it's probably a necessary step that's been taken, and I hope, because I know that the hunting is a cultural thing in Trinidad, I hope that we can all work together to ensure that not only is that our natural heritage is maintained, but also allow people to enjoy hunting, continue to enjoy hunting, and so on in the future.
Do you think that people will still hunt during the 2-year ban?
Yes, you can't solve that problem. You're talking about Trinidad, and you can't have game wardens all over the forest at all. You don't even see them to start with, so you can't stop that.
Now I can tell you that people are still hunting during the 2-year ban.
Do you think overhunting places greater, less, or equal pressure on species richness as compared to habitat loss?
It's a really good question, and it's difficult to actually pin down exactly what has caused the most harm in terms of species decline. Again, I would think it would be species specific, so something like an ocelot, perhaps it might be on equal footing between overhunting and habitat loss, because it probably require huge areas of nice forest to range across. Things like agouti and so on, I would think, while yes, there is a problem with regards to habitat loss, there are still huge areas within Trinidad, that are relatively intact. They might be secondary and primary forests, and I think, by and large, one of the major contributing factors would be overhunting in those cases.
So you see, class, the game animals in Trinidad are under a serious threat, which needs to be addressed urgently. Everyone can help a little bit by educating the public about this, so that methods to reduce this threat can be implemented.